Cool, now you did it. You are now listening to Viking Web Productions podcast. Don't look at me, you did this to yourself. Now, let's sit back and listen to Eric with his dribble this time.
So, I get asked a bunch about how often you should put out a blog post or put out a piece of content. And honestly, it depends on your niche or your business. Some businesses you can get away with doing maybe one blog post a week, two blog posts, but you should be doing at least one blog post a week. And then on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, you should be using pieces of that blog post throughout the week to get everybody back to your website. So throw up 2 lines from the blog post that stick out the most, send a link back to your website saying read more here. But in all honesty, you should be doing way more than that. For example, with my podcast, although I just started doing it, I have, let's see, it is Friday right now, so here's a peek behind the screen. I did, with my commute, I can do quite a few blog posts if I don't sit there and ramble on for ever and ever. And I can actually have, right now, I think I'm all the way up to Wednesday. I have blog posts coming out all the way up, podcasts coming all the way up to Wednesday. So that is one stream of content that I don't have to worry about for a while, because not only am I doing this one today, but I have a couple more that are sitting waiting to go get queued up, and all my little magic tweaks to it. So there's that avenue. One podcast a day might be a little extreme, but you could use that on YouTube, and you can embed them in a blog post. So you just need 600 words to describe your podcast, and you have a blog post. Putting that out there. For written content, I honestly, you should probably be doing 3 or 4 a week. I know some of you have just absolutely shit your pants over that, but then again, it's only 600 words that you need to get. And if it's 600 words based around the keyword that you've picked for this blog post, it will take you no time. I type pretty fast, and I have Grammarly on my computer, so it will spell check me when I'm done slamming the keyboard. And you can use Google Docs, or you can use Word, and you can actually check to see how many words you have. And then you have a blog post. You can schedule them out to go a certain time. You can use bits and pieces of it on Twitter and Facebook. you can use the picture and put that up on Pinterest with a link back to your post. You put it on LinkedIn and link back to your post, and you can repeat the process for old blog posts and new blog posts. So throughout the week, especially if you use the free version of Hootsuite, which is stupid simple to use, you could actually have it all scheduled out. I mean, it's probably going to take you maybe an hour to get everything all scheduled. So, I mean, if it's taking you an hour, then you're going a little slow, or you're on the phone. But honestly, it takes no time to get all your pieces of content out for the week. For example, after I get done uploading these and scheduling these podcasts out, I'm going to be doing the same thing for my blog post. And I will probably, this time around, I probably will actually have a good almost a month worth of content that I can slam out. And I mean, I could sit there for a good chunk of time on a Monday and get everything all scheduled out and make sure everything is gonna be the way I have my times. It's gonna take a little bit of configuring, and I could probably streamline it even better. But I use Hootsuite for Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and then all I have to do is I need to start doing Instagram again, but I do YouTube and Pinterest and schedule those out, and everything is a pretty well-oiled machine. And the way you can utilize just a small segment of your blog post will surprise you, because you can just use a paragraph, like I said. Twitter, you don't have very many characters, so you could just put the title up or a subheading up for one tweet, and then next tweet you put in another subheading up, which was 600 words. You could probably have maybe 2 or 3 subheadings, depending on how you're writing the blog post. But as long as you are resonating with the person that you're writing to, because you're not writing for Google, although Google is a little piece of the puzzle. If your customers are not clicking on your content and reading your content, you need to readjust your content and get it going correctly, so people actually start clicking on it and reading it. I know I did a podcast a couple podcasts ago that I talk about length of content that you need for certain platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of them. And there's going to be a podcast coming about what 7 social networks you should actually be focusing on to grow your business. And LinkedIn is going to be one of them, because right now LinkedIn ads are cheap. I don't have enough content, I feel, to start boosting anything yet, but it's getting close, and hopefully I can start doing that, because web design is web design, so it kind of trickles in, but phone repair and the Mac repair and the computer repair aspect, that's a huge market, and I kind of want to get into that, and got a bunch of video ideas that I want to do, and so I'm gonna have a lot of streams of content here coming up very quickly that are just gonna boost my rankings hopefully here pretty quickly. But back to you. If you start pumping out some content, podcasts, you can start tweeting those out, putting them on YouTube, and linking back and forth to your website, getting people to start clicking the links to get to your website. Google My Business. Google My Business, if you put a post up, it's good for 7 days, but depending on your business, your post could actually go away probably 2 days. I've noticed that mine, if I don't update my blog posts or my posts on Google My Business, after 2 days, it dries up quick. So I've been trying to make sure that I have something ready to go for Google My Business every 2 days. You can't schedule those, but I mean, you're only allowed 1,500 characters, so it's not going to take you very long to copy and paste something and put the link in with your picture and post it. That's basically it. You just gotta start. You'll know when your traffic and your business starts taking off. You'll know that your content is either too much or not enough. But you can make adjustments once you start getting into the swing of things, of making sure that you have enough content out there for your clients. And some of you you just don't know. You don't know the stream of content that you can have, especially if you have a shopping cart. Man, you have content for days. If you have a lot of products in your shopping cart, you are in it to win it, because you can have. I mean, right now I'm doing one website that's going to have over 200 products right at the moment. And I think there's more coming into it. And I mean, that's 200 days worth of content. And then you can repurpose those and recycle them. And I mean, that's depending if the products get sold or not. That's 400 days. 400 days worth of content. You cannot buy content that good. And I know some of these, they're going to go quick. And that's the nature of the beast. But the way the shopping cart's going to be is it's going to have a replacement or two coming up right behind it. So it's an endless stream of content right there. And you can do video, blog posts, everything off of your shopping cart. It will surprise you on how fast shopping carts will actually boost your rankings inside of Google right now. Because not only is the content freshness update still rolling out, but Google Shopping is starting to take off, because there may be a another company in Seattle that is trying to still try to be the top dog of shopping, but unless you go there directly, you're going to be going to Google to look for the product. And if you want your product to stick out, you need to start putting some content out there to make sure that you're going to be in the mix. And with voice search, you really need to make sure that you have a lot of content floating out there and make sure that you're going to stay up on the top. Because if you download Google Assistant or Alexa on your smartphone, you can actually find out how well you do in voice search. I did it for myself, and that kind of lit a fire under my ass, because I'm not ranking well enough inside of that to make me happy. So if you want a demonstration of that, you can go ahead and come on in, and we can actually sit down and talk about that, and we can have an eye-opening experience together. But start getting some blog post ideas. You don't have to write everything all at once. You start one blog post, think of another blog post, get that blog post up, go back to the one that you got saved, fix that up, throw that up, take pieces and parts of it, put it on Twitter and Instagram, link back to it. Twitter, depending on how many followers and once again your business, you may have to do it 2 or 3 times a day to get people to click over to it. The way the Twitter's been the last couple weeks, you're gonna have to do that because November's coming. I don't care what your feelings are. Everybody else on Twitter wants their opinions heard, so that's all I got really for that. Like I said, if you want to come in and we can talk about Google Assistant, and we can see where you show up on it, and then we can discuss your website further. So subscribe to my podcast, and find me on YouTube, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and all the other places that you find me. Like me, tell me I suck. I can take it. I'm a big boy. Alright, well, until next time, we will talk again.
Well, this episode is over. Finally, Viking Web Productions podcast is brought to you by by Robot Overlords. Please subscribe, like, and share this podcast, even with your grandmother. She doesn't hear from you any other time, so surprise her with this gift. That will get you a brownie point. Tee-hee. Until next time, this is Emma. One day I will be like Pennywise, like Mother always wanted.